Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekly wrap up slash pre-week analysis. We're giving you two for one. So before I jump into it, as always, let me give a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans, cool beans. Let's jump into it. Um, Looking at the DXY to start out with, as always. We use the dollar index to gauge the other asset classes that we trade. Um, because most of those asset classes move um correlating with the dollar or inversely correlating with the dollar, meaning they either move in the same direction that the dollar moves in or in the opposite direction. So with that being said, if we go back over my last class, the last time I was with you guys was for the beginning of the week analysis last week. And I told you guys that I was expecting the dollar to push lower. I wanted to see us extend lower and I wanted to see us reach for this monthly sell side liquidity. Being that we've been bearish the dollar overall for a while now. We've been waiting to see this leg down in price that we saw last week extending lower to reach for that monthly sell side liquidity. So if you go back and watch my last class, I told you guys that I wanted to see us first reach down into these daily PD array levels, right? And if we um push through those levels aggressively and close below those levels, I told you that I expected price to push on through and run that monthly sell side liquidity. We see we did get exactly that last week, right? We had this 2 day um positive day on the dollar last week. These two up days, right? Monday and Tuesday. And then for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was all bearish days to the downside. We just ripped back down below the monthly PD array in the daily PD array. Now I expect us to open up the week probably with a gap to the downside running that monthly, and price may open up back above that monthly. We had some very, very high impacting news to happen over the weekend. I don't know if you all have heard the news or not, or seen it on the news or not, but there was allegedly, or as so the media is saying that there was an assassination attempt on the previous President Trump. So I don't know, I don't know whether to call presidential candidate or previous President Trump, whatever. There was an assassination attempt on his life this weekend, so I don't know how that's going to affect the market when the market opens up here in about an hour or so. So we'll just have to wait and see. What I'm thinking is that for futures, we could see the market open up with a big gap to the downside. But we're going to see. So with that being said, I just want you guys to know that for the dollar, I don't know how the market is gonna open up, right? Had we not had the news or the assassination attempt on Trump this weekend, I would say that the dollar is gonna open up bearish, right? And continue to run sell side liquidity and potentially make a run for this daily fair value gap this upcoming trading week, right? Now, being that we did have this aggressive down week last week, I do anticipate price to give us some kind of correction or AKA a pullback up into this imbalance that was created last week. So that's what I'm going to go with for my analysis for the dollar to open up the week. I would like to see us opened up below this. I would like to see price open up with a gap, right? A gap to the downside, right? And then price to get back above this monthly buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, and start to pull back up into this imbalance, right? For the first half of the week. That's what I would like to see out of the dollar index. I would like to see us open with a gap lower, get back above the monthly sell side liquidity, and pull back up into this imbalance that we created last week. Cool beans? Cool beans. So last week was a good week. The analysis was spot on. And I hope you guys, was able to use my analysis to be on the right side of price last week. All right. So we're looking at Euro USD, looking back at the analysis from the beginning of the week of last week. I had it drew out for you guys, right? I drew it out what I was expecting. However, I told you guys in the analysis that if we could not break back below this daily fair value gap for Euro USD, that I expect price to just go ahead and run bullish to the upside and reach for that monthly buy side liquidity. Go back and look at the tape if you don't believe what I'm telling you right now. So I wanted to see price pull back down into this imbalance, right? This daily fair value gap, and then continue higher. That's why I had it drew out like that. But I also stated on the recording that if we did not break and close back below the lower end of this daily fair value gap that's shaded in red right here, that I expected price to run bullish to the upside to reach for the monthly buy side liquidity. Cool beans, cool beans. And that was pretty much my analysis across the board for currency, right? Same thing with the pound, right? But I also told you the same thing with the pound. I said that we was unable to break and close back below the 62% PD array, monthly PD array for GBP USD that I expected price to continue to run the monthly buy side liquidity and potentially reach up into this daily fair value gap. And you see that's exactly what we got. So it's always a if this, then that thing when you're looking at the financial markets because nothing is 100% guaranteed and everything fluctuates and moves in a cycle. Cool beans, understood? Cool beans, understood. Same thing with NZD/USD, right? NZD/USD didn't give us as much of a bullish move to the upside last week, like GBP USD did and Euro USD did. So I'm expecting us to open up very bullish for NZD USD in order to catch up with its brother and sisters, right? With Euro and the pound, right? So I expect us to open up bullish for the pound, for NZD USD. And I expect us to run this monthly buy side liquidity this week for NZD USD. Again, we got to see how the markets open up. We got to take into account the breaking news or the assassination attempt that was made or the alleged assassination attempt that was made on President Trump or a previous President Trump. So like I said, let's wait and see how the markets open up. I expect there to be a humongous gap one way or the other. And so we'll see how that gap opens up, and then we'll use that to make a better analysis on the upcoming trading week. Cool beans, cool beans. Last but not least, looking at our future pairs, looking at ES. I told you guys last week that I wanted to see us Monday. We was right here Monday when I did the class. I told you that I expected us to pull down into Friday's discount levels and buy from those levels. However, I told you that if we cannot break back below, um, if we couldn't break back below the opening of, I'm sorry, the closing of Friday's candle, that I expected us to continue to push higher and create newer all-time highs for ES. Go back and watch the tape, so you can hear exactly what I said. So we didn't break and close back below that closing. We closed bullish Monday, right? And I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Monday, I I told you guys that if this candle, Tuesday candle, did not break below and close below Monday's closing, not Friday's closing, Monday's closing, that I expected ES to continue to push higher and create new all-time high. And that's what happened, right? And then what else did I tell you guys on Monday's class? I told you guys that Thursdays typically tend to be what? What are Thursdays? What do Thursdays typically tend to be? They typically tend to be pullback day, meaning whichever way the market has been trending for that week, on Thursday, markets tend to pull back out of that trend on Thursday's trading day. And what do we have here on Thursday's trading day? From Monday till Wednesday, markets was trending in what direction? Bullish, up, in an upward trend, in a bullish trend from Monday to Wednesday. Thursdays, Thursdays tend to be what? A pullback day. What was last Thursday? A pullback day. So just with knowing that information, that knowledge within itself, if you would have been playing to the sales side Thursday, you would have killed the markets Thursday trading day. Blue beans, blue beans. So the markets was one way Thursday, and that was to the downside. So with that being said, let's look at NQ. Same thing with NQ. NQ was aggressive to the downside, very aggressive to the downside. And Thursday typically tend to be what? Pullback days. Pullback days. From Monday to Wednesday, NQ was trending in a bullish trend. Thursday gave us that pullback back down into Friday's daily fair value gap that's shaded in blue here, right? Pull back down into there, and third Friday price pull back up into Thursday's premium discount array level. Pull back up into Thursday's premium array levels, right? Premium price Friday, and then we close right above consequent encroachment of Friday's fair value gap, right? So I'm looking to see, going down to the daily, if we opened up, how we respect this consequent encroachment, right? And if we push higher to run Friday's daily buy side liquidity, how aggressively we push above it. If we close above it, right, then I will look for a price to run that weekly buy side. But if we don't push back above Friday's buy side liquidity, right, let alone if we don't push back and close above this upper level of this daily fair value gap, and then I will be expecting us to continue lower, right? Now, keep in mind that we have to account for the assassination attempt that happened this weekend on previous President Trump. So we got to see how that affect the market. I'm thinking that we see a big gap to the downside to go ahead and clean up all of this imbalance before continuing higher. So I'm going on record saying that I think futures is going to open with a big gap to the downside to clean up all of this imbalance, right? Right here before continuing higher. So that, ladies and gentlemen, will conclude. Well, I will look at crypto for a moment. Just look at Bitcoin. I think that we're about to start seeing some diabolical bullish movement to the upside for Bitcoin. And that will in turn make all the other cryptocurrencies go diabolical as well. So get ready, because we're about to see a motherfucking moonshot for cryptocurrencies going into the last 2 quarters of the year. Yes, I'm going on record and saying that as well. So it's about to be some exciting times as well as some very crazy times. I've said this on the last class. I've been saying this across my social media platform. The last 2 quarters of 2024 are going to be absolutely insane, nuts, bananas, crazy. So keep your heads on a swivel, stay safe, keep protection with you at all times, whether that be pepper spray, whether that be a combat knife, pocket knife, or whether that be a fire. Be safe out here in these real streets as well as these market streets. And just remember that, you know, life is short. So let your family and friends know that you love them while they still here. Please. And if these analysis are adding any value to you guys' life whatsoever, feel free to like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps out a lot. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, tuning in, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Like I said before, let your family and friends know you love them while they still here. Please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know